Hi guys, this is Wave 618. It's the 4th of March 2018 and it's currently 8 PM GMT. Okay, so I just want to do a quick video on crude oil. Most of my videos so far have been on Bitcoin. I know Bitcoin is a much more popular market. However, oil is a market that I've been following quite closely over the last couple of years, and it's been quite frustrating with it been in this consolidation phase around here, and it's finally breaking out. And when you get this large consolidation, you can expect big moves, you can expect fireworks. So it's a very interesting market, and although it may not be as popular, it's certainly a market I've got my eyes on. So I'm going to share my insights with you on oil today. So alright, so we're looking at the daily chart here. Now in my last video, it was about a week ago, I posted one video on oil, and I basically mentioned how oil had broken out of a huge inverse head and shoulders, with that being the left shoulder, head, and sorry, let's move that to, let's start that again, sorry about that. So left shoulder, head, right shoulder. Okay, so it broke out. This was the neckline. It broke out of that very nicely, and yeah, it started to, persevere after that breakout. Now there is another type of head and shoulders that I've drawn, and it seems to be showing good good support. So I'm going to demonstrate that to you now. So there is a head and shoulders if we draw it like this. So the left shoulder being there and finishing here, the head there, right shoulder, and then breaking out. The reason I like this drawing is because it's found, not only has it broken out of the right shoulder, but it's found very good support. It retested the line and found excellent support there. Now I'm going to show a further reason why that was good support. I'm going to draw a line where the neckline is, and then we'll delete the inverse head and shoulders diagram. Alright, so that's our line, that's the neckline, very significant line there. Yeah, I've drawn it on just so that we can see how it's acted as resistance, slight resistance, broke out, and then now acting as very good support. And I believe we're not going to see prices come below here for a very long time. I expect prices to just keep on rising. This is why I wanted to highlight this chart to you right now. Okay, so using Elliott Wave, which is one of my favorite tools, so I'm going to break it down for you. So in my first video I did explain exactly the Elliott Wave breakdown, so I would suggest if you watch my first video I'll explain it in a lot more detail. But essentially the wave count was like this, end of wave 1, and now wave 2 is a very complex pattern that I got stuck in the middle of and just couldn't make head to tail of it. However, it's now finished. So wave 2 is A, B, C. Okay, that's the end of wave 2. We're forming wave 3. I reckon it's going to come to at least around this level. We'll get a relatively deep wave 4, typically a 38.2 retracement before making a further wave 5. In these commodity markets, wave 5 is often extended, so it all depends. There could be a big news story that comes out and just really inflates oil. We could see moves as sharp as this, just as we saw it come down here. We could see moves going up in just a similar speed. Okay, I'm going to break down. So this wave 2 was very complex. Essentially it's a running flat. So A is here, B, you can see it finished higher than wave 1. Yeah. And then C wave is higher than wave A. Yeah, this is described as a running flat. And I did, in my first video, I basically counted the waves and broke it down. So I won't explain that again in this video. But yeah, if you check out the oil playlist, this will only be the second video in the playlist. yeah, you'll be able to find the other video in there. Alright, I'm going to have a closer look at this wave 3 now. Let's break it down. I'll show you my primary count for that. So to look at that, I would like to go on, let's first go on the 4 hourly. Okay, so this is our wave 3 so far. Now, oil loves its running flats. As I mentioned, the wave 2 was a huge running flat. Now we've made another running flat here. So just going to label it wave 1 here, and then this is A, B, C. Yeah, I'll explain why I think that's my count. So wave 3 up to here. I believe this is the end of wave 4. I'll explain why in a moment. And wave 5 I believe is going to be quite extended, going up to 85. I'll adjust that when I zoom out later. Alright, now the reason I believe this is the end of wave 3, if we do a fib extension, so this is the beginning of wave 1, end of wave 1, and then we put that from the beginning of wave 3, which started here. Okay, very close to this 4.23 here. Yeah, so the 4.23 is a very significant Fibonacci level. I don't use this 3.618 so much, I could really take that off. So basically the significant extensions are 1.618, 2.618 and 4.236. The way you can work them out, if you have a calculator at hand, you can just do 1.618 times 1.618, you get 2.618, times 2.618 by 1.618 and you get 4.236. That's where these numbers are derived. Yeah, they're not just made up, they're all Fibonacci related, they're related to the golden ratio, and price follows these numbers. 3.618 is not, I've not seen to be as significant. Alright, so that's why I've come up with this as wave 3. As I say, oil likes its running flats. This was a running flat. Yeah, so it was a 3 waves down, 3 waves up, and then a overlapping 5 waves down. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which is like a diagonal pattern. The waves are overlapping there. Alright, so just gonna take that down. Let's get rid of that notification. Alright, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'll explain why this is my wave 4. So bottom of wave 3 is here, top of wave 3 is here. Yeah, it's retraced 38.2%. That's a typical wave 4 retracement. Further reason why I feel like this is not going to go lower than this, as well as this being excellent support. When I zoomed out earlier and I was showing you the neckline of that other inverse head and shoulders, this is the line it made. So it's acted as excellent support. You could see volume coming in, which is very good. And obviously this can be a more complex wave 4. However, I can't see prices coming much lower. Potentially could hit the 50%, but then it'd be breaking this line, so I think it's unlikely. I do think it's worth a good trade. You can see it's come quite low down again, so it's giving us an opportunity to buy in. That's why I wanted to get this video out this evening, just because we could be running out of time to get in on this trade. And this 5 could be explosive. The reason I've put my wave 5 extension, wave 5 end at 85, I'll show you. Best if I zoom out to show you that. So let's go on daily. Alright, so typically wave 3 is a 1.618 extension of wave 1. If wave 1 is down here, end of wave 1, beginning of wave 3. Okay, I must have drawn it slightly incorrect because it should be around 85, so probably because it's not quite at the bottom. There we go, so coming up to around 84, so let's just put a price label. That's where I think wave 3 will come to. This is a modest estimate. This is a typical wave 3 extension. However, depending on what happens, if any news comes out, any catalyst, we could see it go to the 2.618 extension. And that's why I don't think there's any time to hang around. Once this high has been broken, you know, there's so much space for this to go into now. Look at all, there's not much resistance, not many horizontal lines to break. Yeah. So it's retested this line. It could shoot up any moment. Wave 4 typically retraces 38.2%, so that's our start of wave 3. So looking at a wave 4 around here, that's our 38.2 retracement. And then wave 5, there's different predictions for wave 5. So a common one is a, let's just delete this. Let's delete that. So tidy it up a bit. So wave 5 is often a 0.618 extension of waves 0 to 3. So that's one way of just anticipating what the wave 5 is. However, the way I like to work it out is when the wave, there's so many variations for where wave 5 can end. I usually do the sub count. So as the waves are forming, I then predict where wave 5 is going to finish. But a reasonable estimate is if we do a fib extension from waves 0 to 3, and from the beginning of 5, could come to around this level. So let's just end it here. Yeah, this is if it's just a typical impulsive pattern. So wave 3, 1.618 extension of wave 1, 4 is a 38.2 retracement of wave 3, and wave 5 is a 0.618 extension of waves 0 to 3. Yeah, so this is a modest estimate. I believe oil could go a lot higher potentially, because I think there's going to be some catalysts, some news that's going to push prices up. And yeah, as I mentioned in my last Bitcoin video, there's a lot of things, a lot of people who are out there to manipulate the news. There's a lot of people interested in high oil prices. There's the OPEC countries that are particularly interested. And if you just think about it, as electric cars are becoming more popular nowadays, over the next 10 years you're going to see a huge shift in what kind of cars we see. That's going to create a huge dent in the demand in oil, and it's going to knock prices in oil down. So I'm sure the OPEC countries are fully aware of this, and they see this as this is the last opportunity to mark prices as high as possible. Yeah, that's why I wouldn't be surprised if you see some news, people really trying to push up the prices of oil here. This is not a move I would want to miss. I feel like this has offered very good support, so I think there could be a good trade on here. Yeah, so that sums it up for oil. I hope that's been useful. I know it's not such a popular market compared to Bitcoin, but it's certainly very exciting for me. I've been tracking it for some time now, and I think it's got some exciting times ahead. I can guarantee you, once we see prices, go a little bit higher, you're going to see a lot more people interested in oil. But at the end of wave 3, you've missed the majority of the move. Yeah, people need to get interested at this point. When this head and shoulders broke, that's when people should have been interested. Here's another opportunity to get in, so we've not completely missed the boat. Alright, so I hope you've enjoyed the video. Please like, subscribe and share if you found it useful. Okay, I'll leave it at that. Take care.